Good morning, everybody. 42nd segment of the Think Before You Speak series with stories. The laws of Shemirat Halashon with clarity. Leilu nishmat Chafetz Chaim Zechet Tzadik Lebracha. Leilu nishmat Luza Liza Bat Henriette and our children that passed in the fire. Ruach Hashem Tenichena Began Eden. These halachot are also dedicated for the Hatzlacha Gedola, the Shemirat, the Siyata Dishmaya, for our Bnei Chabura, for Moshe ben Leah. And these halachot are specifically dedicated as a zchut for the great Yeshua Gdola, Shmira Ma'alien Hatzlacha for Chaim Davidov ben Chayesar. Today's halacha is titled Gentiles. Now, let me tell you over what took place. You know, a lot of times in the yeshiva, we have all different types of workers that over the years literally become part of the makeup of the yeshiva itself. Sometimes these workers actually enter managerial jobs, that they become part of the family of the yeshiva, even though they're goyim. So let's just tell over a story about once where one of the goyim that was running the lunch program, and he was the one that had the keys to the kitchen with all the food. And he sets up lunch like he does every day. And the boys come out from Seder, and they start to pick up lunch in line. And he got distracted for a moment. He ran to go grab a few things. And at that moment, a few of the boys decided, here's an opportunity. They run into the kitchen, and they start literally wiping out the kitchen with all the food that they would love to have on that particular lunch. So they're taking all different types of flavored yogurts and the stuff that they're not serving today. That's the Rosh Chodesh stuff. And sure enough, they ended up stealing, so to speak, or grabbing from the kitchen food that they should not have taken. Now the goy comes back and he realizes that guys broke into the kitchen and they were. So as he comes back in, one guy gives the word and they all go running with the food. Now one of the boys watched what took place, and he was very upset. He felt it was a chilul Hashem. And at the same time, these boys were stealing from the yeshiva to an extent. So he wants to go up now to the goy, and he wants to point out exactly who are the boys that did it, because it bothers him very much. It's not right. They stole from the yeshiva. The guy in charge should know who were the ones that stole and let him take it up with the yeshiva. And these boys will be taught a lesson. Can he go up to the goy and give over exactly the names of the boys who were the ones that stole from the kitchen when he was distracted? Is that considered Lashon Hara? Maybe this is a constructive purpose, because now nobody else will pull a stunt like this again. And stuff was stolen from the yeshiva. There is a certain responsibility for those who stole. The halacha states that Lashon Hara, that's spoken to a goy about another Jew, is far worse than any Lashon Hara spoken in any level. The worst Lashon Hara that a person could speak is to a goy about another Jew. And even in this case, where there's somewhat of a constructive purpose because these guys stole from the kitchen, what this boy was supposed to do was not go over to the goy, because who knows the way goyim will react. They could be violent. But rather to go over quietly in confidence to the Rosh HaYeshiva and say, listen, I witnessed something today at the detriment of the yeshiva. And there were boys that were stealing from the kitchen. And as of the constructive purpose that people should not steal from the yeshiva, I'm telling you, this is what happened this morning. These are the boys. Please look into it. But to tell the goy, the worker, is absolutely Lashon Hara of the worst level. And therefore, let's get clarity. The worst Lashon Hara to speak is to a goy about another Jew. If somebody tells a goy Lashon Hara, incriminating evidence, to a goy about another Jew, his avera is too great to bear. Gadol avono miniso. His avera is so big that it's impossible to carry such an avera. Very difficult to do teshuvah on such an avira. And he, in Klal Yisrael now, actually gets the status of an apikoros. Did you know that? Speaking Lashon Hara to a goy about another Jew, the person, the speaker, has a din of an apikoros, which his punishment is way, way beyond Gehinnom. This is an extremely difficult sin. Stay far away from this one. When it comes to goyim, we don't say anything incriminating about another Jew. Adarabah. Let's say good. Thank you for listening.